Hi guys, thanks for tuning into the channel today. Pretty cold, windy day here today. It's probably under, I don't know, 15, 20 degrees, somewhere around that. Really cold, but I just thought I'd come out here and just show you what the bike's like now with 250 kilometres on the clock and, more importantly, the pillion seat removed. So let's have a look at the profile there. Actually, they just look so much better without the pillion seat on them. Must admit this bike here gets a fair bit of attention compared to other Enfields I've had, because on a couple of occasions now I've had people either give me a wave or a nod or something to that effect, or was at a T-section yesterday and pulled over, and then all of a sudden this other guy comes partly around the corner, stops right midway around the corner in his ute and yells out, "Nice bike mate," and almost got tail-ended by another car behind him. So that could have been a little bit dangerous there. But once again, let's look at this profile now with the pillion seat removed. Next thing up now will be, I'll probably remove that seat and replace it then with the touring spring seat in black. So that'd be my next plan. You're already aware I did that little bit of a paint job here at the side. That looks good too. Just I'll tell you what, the flies are bad out here today. None in town, but I don't know why, but sometimes when you leave the big city itself of 40,000 people, you come out here and all of a sudden you're plagued by flies. Now, the other thing I thought I'd tell you about with these bikes, you know, like a few people did comment on the engine heat on these bikes after I put up that clip showing it. This is something usual I found with Enfields that might hang around for, you know, up to 1,000 kilometres, and then after that they calm down a bit better. Now, for an example, my Halcyon Grey, which I've had a couple of years now and put about 12,000 k's on, I took it out on that, I think it was the next day after that, and I did something like, I don't know, I think it was around about 20 kilometres around town, 25 kilometres, come back. Now where this one ran at 111 barrel temperature, I'd come in on the Halcyon Grey, parked it, checked it, and it was on 91. But that's a well-seasoned bike now, which has done a lot of work, and it just goes to show you, same motor, just a different scenario where this one's a brand new tight type of motor, and I suppose that's to loosen up and go a little bit better there, and the other one's a well-worn motor now with virtually closing on 12,000 k's I think on the clock, and no troubles there whatsoever with it coming in, no sign of it smelling hot, sitting on 91C when I give it a check. And I was just curious about that because, you know, I read all sorts of comments that come in on that, and naturally I actually think most of those people know nothing about Enfields compared to, well, I've had 23 of them and I've got a good idea what goes on with these bikes. Now the only other thing about that, and I'm out here now, what is really a pain, this is my first trip out on the road on this, because on the run-in you can supposedly go up to 70 kilometres an hour for the first 500 kilometres, and then you've got another 1,500 kilometres where you can do 80. Now, you know, whether or not you want to frig around to do that sort of thing for 1,200 mile or 2,000 kilometres is just hard to say, but as it is now, the way to move them up a little bit quicker, I did almost 250 kilometres just around town riding with, you know, lots of gear changes, stuff like that, a few cool down cycles, quite a few. And I figure now I can just head it out along the road, and these back roads here haven't got a great deal of traffic on it, so I can get out here, give it a bit of a run out and see how things go in that line, and you know, you can chop up the kilometres a bit quicker, and I'd be out now around about 15 to 20 kilometres out of town, so I just thought I'd pull over, let the bike cool down for 5 minutes or so, and then you can get back on and take it easy on the way back. And if you get into an area where there's hills, even though you're limited to really engine revs, would be the main thing that'd heat them up a bit, you can just back down and go slower in up the hills in the lower gear, and it's not putting as much pressure as trying to give it a bit of throttle to get up there. But like I said, this is my first trip out along the road today on this red chrome. Really happy with the red chrome, so not real too happy about these flies. These flies are really annoying. So apart from that, that is today's clip. Everything going well, and I'm enjoying the experience of riding the red chrome. I'm actually enjoying riding the red chrome a lot more than I actually thought I would. Now if you ask me how does it compare to your well worn in Halcyon Grey as far as everything goes? I think I don't think it'd go any better than the Halcyon Grey. The Halcyon Grey goes all right. If anything, what I do notice straight off the bat is the suspension on these isn't really what you call crash hot compared to on the Halcyon Grey, where I've got the touring seat and I've also got the 500 Enfield shocks in the rear. There's no doubt, like, they definitely make a difference, and I can feel it when I'm out here when I hit bumps and bounce around. But apart from that, there's not a great deal of difference between both bikes, so except colour. And you know, I've got no complaints about this one now, and well, I never had any complaints to start with, or I wouldn't have bought it. But overall, if you're sort of wondering about that heating up business, that was just proof straight away. These ones, like all the other bikes I've had, whether it's these Classic 500, 650 Interceptors, I've had that same heat smell in all those bikes, and they'll come down after you put up a few more kilometres on it, and you'll see that temperature drop. So that's something for you to think about. So once again, thanks for tuning in, taking a look. Here's today's clip, and I will battle on regardless. Till next time.